Hello everyone, it's Omae and welcome back to the brand new video. Today we're going to go up against Treasure Map Garp using a 1 versus all team without any of the new batch, but we are using Lafitte as a friend captain. There are very small modifications if you don't have the Lafitte friend captain, so if you don't have any of these, then ask me down below. I'll try and see if I can make a replacement, but I also will have separate teams using no new friend captains, just the same unit that you're running as your friend, as your captain should I say, right? So the requirements here, we are using Makino, but any strength character in the game will work that is boosted. Then we have Hina on Erodo. This is a character you can get from the middle exchange. Yeah, the Sugo middle exchange, you don't need to buy Makino. She's really not needed on that team, but yes, Hina is definitely a requirement. She's a great support character. She's worth the medals, right? And besides that, we are running Sanji and Reiju as the captain. Now, one thing you need to know about Sanji and Reiju is that their design is very much based on having one of every type on the crew. So we are starting off in the Psy form of Sanji and Reiju. The reason we're doing this is the Usopp allows us to get around 5 turns of remove SFX, the blindness debuff, but we need the captain to be a Psy unit. So make sure you're starting off in Sanji Rage's form. And of course, we have a strength unit, dex unit, int unit, Psy unit, and then friend Lafitte is a quick unit. The Viola support, this is a treasure map rare recruit. She will get around 3 turns of remove SFX. Now, usually people would be using the Coby support rare recruit on a Garp free-to-play PK unit, but we aren't using Garp on this team. He's not doing anything, so we need one of every type. Rodo does a much better job here. We are running a Luffy on Usopp. Any Luffy in the game will work, and just run a high HP boosting ship. So I mean, you could run the catapult ship, the strength quick int ship, which is bullet ship. Catapult is great. You can also use the Grantosoro one, the one that gives you berry boost, and then whale sharks is also another great option. If you have the dinghy as well, that's also a really nice high HP ship. Anyone will work, since we are just going to be tapping through the instant burn on the intrusion. So let's go up against Garp and see how we can do. So I think between the two fights, Garp is a bit easier. They both have kind of these annoying gimmicks. For Garp, it's the poison slots. There are so few units that will allow you to get around this. There's a few like options. You could bring rainbow orbs from Goldbug and Gerd from stage 1 into stage 2 to block the poison slots, but the easiest way is to just use Karasu Mole. They remove the poison, and they also change the or remove the paralysis as well. So great unit for this. Makino is completely useless on this team. She's not doing anything. We won't use a special. This is why I say you can use any strength unit. It really doesn't matter who it is. Of course, Lafitte friend captain. And this is the quest where we do get that blindness on stage 3, where we need the Viola support. Of course, if you don't have Viola, and you're fine with just hitting through the blindness, you can do that as well. The damage is pretty good, so you don't even have to hit perfects, right? So stage 1, the great thing that they added in a few updates ago is that even if you find the secret boss in stage 1, you still have the opportunity to kill the turtles before moving on to stage 2. This means that you have the opportunity to use specials in stage 1. So if you are using a strategy to like transfer over rainbow slots from stage 1 into stage 2 to block those poison orbs, you can do that using Goldbug and Gerd, but it's much easier just to remove it with Karasu Mole. The few other options are the rare recruit Albaf Usopp, as well as Chopper Psy free-to-play units. Those two also get around the poison. So we're just going to use Karasu Mole first, because they do give us the buff that allows our chain additive from Usopp, as well as the chain boundary from Lafitte to get buffed. And then they also give a chain, or a base attack boost, should I say. At this point, we can just kill. We have matching orbs thanks to Karasu Mole. All you need to do is hit a good on one of your characters to start the chain off, and then kill with Lafitte. Of course, at the start, you only need to hit a good strike on Lafitte to kill. So just try and be tap efficient to save your time. On the final stage though, Garp is weak to free spirits, whereas Coby on the final boss is weak to strikers. So our damage is much better here, since we do have a fully free spirit based team besides Rodo. So what we're going to do here is, since we have one of every type, Sanji Ranger removes that special bind. Oh wait, no, that's against Coby. But here, since we have one of every type, we'll get an orb boost as well as the orb manipulation through block, as well as a damage reduction based attack boost. So I didn't even realize that, but you could add a support like Mr. 3 to actually give you a damage reduction to go alongside the damage reduction based attack boost. This will give you much better damage. Roto is really not necessary to proc here. Honestly, this is pretty good. You don't need to do anything else. Hit a good on someone to start the chain, and then perfect on Lafitte. So the damage definitely could be better if you add that Mr. 3 support. And remember, when you beat the intrusion, you get a 1.5x universal stat boost, so your damage against Coby will be a lot higher. That kind of makes up for the fact that we won't have a lot of advantageous class against Coby, since it's more striker centric. So final boss Coby, just kind of bringing back that point about stage 1 not having the secret boss that runs away, and then you can't have the specials activated. But now they changed that, so you can always do that reliably even if the secret boss appears. So against Coby, this is extremely important, because for free-to-play teams, more accessible ways to get around the chain lock, the weak chain lock on stage 2 without having a friend captain Lafitte, the best way is to use the side free-to-play Sanji. He provides a 2-turn chain boundary which you can use on stage 1, and since that lasts for the preemptive of stage 2, it'll block the enemy's weak chain lock. So if you are someone who doesn't have the friend captain Lafitte, just keep that in mind. You could use that, but I will show off that strategy in a separate video where I show free to play 1 versus all using no Lafitte friend. But anyways, I digress. This one, the supports aren't nearly as important, Hina and also the Viola, since the threshold is, oh no, the threshold is in this boss. So yeah, Hina is important for this one, Viola is important for the other one. Once again, Lafitte friend captain. In this one, I think the ship really doesn't matter because there's no burn, so your HP is kind of irrelevant. So when it comes to like limit break expansions, level limit breaks, the only thing you really need is the level limit break 5 on Usopp, and also his regular limit break, so that he gets access to that second potential sailor ability for the blindness removal. That's kind of the only requirement for these teams in terms of investment. Our main damage is from the Lafitte friend captain, so our other unit stats don't really matter too much. They won't have the type or class advantage. So stage 2 Helmeppo, chain lock as well as a chain minimum attack down. We need to get above 2.5x chain. So we are just going to be using the Usopp as well as Lafitte, and that's basically it. Since Lafitte makes our dex orbs kind of matching, the badly matching orbs that the enemy tried to give us are actually counted as matching for Lafitte, so we don't really care about that. We could use Machina special here if you want, but the only one whose matching orb really matters is Lafitte anyways, so it's kind of just a waste of your time. What we can do is actually use Sanji and Reiju's super swap effect. We don't need to be in their Psi form since the remove SFX is not on this stage, and that color affinity will allow us to kill stage 2 here very easily. So at this point we can just hit a great and kill on Lafitte, very easy, 37 million. Of course later on you can hit more perfects to build up your chain more. And then final stage we get special binded. Now both Sanji, Reiju and Lafitte have special bind removal in the captain, but both of them have requirements, so keep a lookout for that. For Sanji, Reiju you need to have one of every type for the special bind removal. For Lafitte you need 3 Blackbeard Pirates or 4 Emperor tags for that special bind removal. So you might think, okay, both captains are removing the special bind, I'll be safe, it'll be removed, but both of them have very tight restrictions. Luckily we have one of every type, so Sanji and Reiju works. We can use their special effect to remove the block orbs and the bind, as well as give us an orb boost and a damage reduction based attack boost. So once again, add Mr. 3, I recommend it for the damage reduction. Besides that, we can use Karasumole to change paralysis orbs into matching and give us a base attack boost. We can then use Roto for 4 turns of threshold reduction. Super evolution is required, the final 2 turns removed by Hina. And we do not need to activate Machina. We have a base attack boost, an orb boost, chain boundary, chain additive, and a damage reduction based attack boost. So let's just hit a good strike, and it is an easy kill, 142 million, and that's before you add then Mr. 3 for the damage reduction based attack boost. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully these teams were helpful for you. Stay tuned for more teams. I will be having videos, as I said, with no Lafitte friend captain. I also try to make videos with the new boosters, since I do have Lafitte and I'm about to get hopefully Kuzan from step 4 of the treasure map Sugofest. So I'll make a video having one of it. If you have one booster, if you have 2 boosters, if you have 3 boosters, if you have 4 boosters, or if you have all 5 of them, which are the 2 new rare recruits, treasure map Lafitte, and then the end of month legends, Devon Ogre, Vasco Shot, Senwan, and Pizarro. Those 5 characters are the boosters for this treasure map, which I really despise how they're doing this. They're making the end of month legend units necessary for treasure map as well. They've started this trend a few months ago, and it's getting so much worse. Treasure map is they're just ruining this game mode, man. They're not boosting any free-to-play treasure map units anymore. They are boosting so few treasure map legends, whereas before they'd boost every single treasure map legend every time. It's just so much more inaccessible. The cards require you to have boosters to compete. It's just, they've ruined the game mode. They've removed mini bosses, completely removed the whole playstyle. But yeah, that's a rant for a separate video. Hopefully you found the video helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And I'm out.